Hi everyone, and welcome to the Leo February 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own spiritual importance. So this reading specifically is meant to help you find the meaning in the challenge or challenges you are currently experiencing so that you can better understand and see your path and purpose and how it can be of service to others. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start, Leo, by pulling a card for your internal energy. Oh my goodness. So, wow, we'll go with that. That's some amazing energy that just popped out. I'm going to go ahead and now pull cards for your external energy. What's going on around you? And then we'll take a look at what is the meaning behind engaging this internal energy with your external environment. What this is all for. Okay, interesting. I think it was, can't remember now if it was Cancer. I think it was Cancer who got this as well, the Two of Swords here. So the Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. The Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune is a wonderful energy to be sitting with in your internal energy. The Ace of Cups is the gift from the divine of unconditional love. It can also represent new love, new connection to what you love. New connection to love in general. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming in around that, there is this beautiful feeling of internally taking action from a place of motivation based in love. This is, when the Wheel of Fortune shows up in your external environment, that can mean that, okay, things are engaging, stuff is starting to happen outside of yourself. When it's in internal energy, this is where we are starting to connect our own gears together and starting to reevaluate our own internal motivations and kind of what is going to drive this wheel forward. And with Ace of Cups coming in, that is a fresh connection to love. So for some of you, there could be new love coming in that is now changing your motivation. It could be that you have a new child, you have a new partner, you are reconnecting just in general with love for everything. It could simply be that perhaps you are, maybe at one point you were internally motivated and driven by something else. Maybe a quest, a motivation to be noticed by others, a motivation to earn money, a motivation to build something. And now that motivation is coming from a place of love. So really beautiful energy. There's something really nice that's come in recently for you, Leo, or that you're moving into this month. In your external environment, we have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords can be sometimes a little bit of a brash energy. It can be a little disruptive. This is the person who kind of comes in and does a truth bomb, so to speak. This is somebody who might join the conversation and say, well, this is how I see it, and da-da-da-da-da, and then off they go again. And it's kind of like, whoa, okay, well, thanks for sharing, you know. But there's also, what's great about this energy is that it's also about swift communication. The Knight of Swords harnesses the energy of Mercury, Mercury is a sign of communication. And with this being a knight, that there is a movement with and around the energy of communication. So there's something here around taking what is going on in your internal environment, this internal change and shift, to be motivated from a place of love and kind of newfound, almost like a rebirth in the feeling of love that's within you, and being able to speak from that place, being able to take action and speak your truth to others, but coming from this place of love. Because why? Because you are sitting currently right now, I believe, with a decision that you feel you can't quite see the way through. Meaning that you feel perhaps there are two options right now, and they may seem equal. So if you look at this card, she's holding two swords that seem to be of equal length and weight. And if she was to sit here blindfolded, she may never know that, she's going to feel that both swords are the same. And this is where the illusion can come in, that sometimes we think we have two options and they're both the same and they're both of equal weight. And yet, in reality, they are both equal. They literally are the same sword. And we can see our way forward between two options that seem the same by understanding that one is directly tied to our sword of truth. It's the sword that the knight is brandishing. And there's this feeling of, once you start to go out and communicate in a truthful way, once you go out and start to speak from this place of love for yourself and others, that is going to help you be able to see the way forward through something of a difficult decision, or a decision that perhaps you are not quite in alignment with, or that you're still trying to gather the information around to make. The Two of Swords is a card that harnesses the energy of the moon in Libra, which can mean that there's a lack of clarity around trying to get a balanced opinion or perspective between two choices. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look. I'm going to pull some cards here, and we're going to see kind of what is the block or challenge that you are currently facing to prevent you from being able to go out and really kind of speak from this place of newfound motivation. I saw the Lovers card come up there, but I want it to come out a little more organically here. So let's see. What does Leo need to know about speaking? Speaking to what you love and speaking from a place of love. There's also this feeling of taking action here that's coming through with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so we have Judgment. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, we have the Page of Wands, which also came out in Aries reading. Very interesting. Okay, whoa. So many cards. So we have the Hanged Man. Lots of big cards here for you, Leo. Oh, and the Queen of Wands, which is interesting because I believe actually in the Cancer reading, they also got Queen of Wands in that same final challenge position. So you guys maybe, you might have a Cancer in your experience. You might have Cancer placements in your astrological chart. Very interesting. Okay, so Judgment. Judgment is in your initial main challenge position here. Judgment is a beautiful card of the energy of being called up by the divine into a new version of yourself. And it can be a difficult energy to embrace because often judgment happens, that energy happens from within. We first hear the internal call to something different or to change a certain way we've always been, but we hear it inside first. We feel it inside first. And this can be the energy of waking up one day after being an attorney for 25 years. You wake up and realize, I can't work another day as an attorney. This holds no value to me. I want to become a teacher, an elementary school teacher. And it can be hard to accept because it can happen like that just overnight, where we go from being one person to hearing a call to follow a very different way of life. And we can often this can become a challenge when we don't want to hear that call. We don't want to make the change, or we don't feel that we would be supported in making that change, so we hide the call. Unfortunately, the longer that we try to ignore that call, the more we become dissatisfied with life, the more we become disengaged with who we are authentically, and the more often we can also push others away from those who would actually support us in stepping into this new version of ourselves. Now, with the Queen of Pentacles coming in directly afterwards, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a drink real fast. So with the Queen of Pentacles coming in, there is a reminder here from the divine that you are in the process of nurturing something. The Queen of Pentacles knows where to put her time and energy. She knows what it is worth, and she knows where to focus and grow something with it. And with Judgment, I get this feeling that you understand this. There is something in your life that you know you would like or need to put time and energy towards nurturing, but it's going to require a very big change in who you are. So this could be that you feel the need to, kind of like the example that you were been an attorney for 25 years and you feel the need to nurture children. You feel the need to want to go back and become an elementary school teacher and nurture the education of your area's youth. But that's going to require a lot of change. And what Spirit's asking you to remember to be able to really feel confident in facing this call and understanding where to put your energy now as you move forward. And I kind of see here in her face, there's this element of being at peace with that decision of what to nurture and where to put your energy. And Spirit's reminding you to step up into the energy of the Page of Wands. This is when we are reminded of our passion, and we're reminded of that we don't have passion to torture us. We aren't given a gift of an eternal flame and that feeling that burns within us to be tortured or to tamp it down. We're meant to go out and play with it. We're meant to show it to others. We're meant to play with it even from the innocence of a child, that kind of fun naivete of like, let's see what I can do with this. And it's meant to help illuminate. So the Hanged Man is a divine pause where there may have been a delay, there may have been something that changed in our life that forced us to stop and see our current external environment from a new perspective. From a perspective that's actually been illuminated for us from the divine. And that now it's time to see what you have in your external environment in a new way. And what does that look like? That means that as we are looking through the eyes of what lights our fire, so to speak, and what we would like to be at peace and growing and nurturing based off of this newfound realization within ourselves, that sometimes we could take a look at what we already have and realize, gosh, now that I'm seeing it from a different perspective, I realize I actually can just put the pieces together in a slightly different way, and that will be in alignment and support this new internal calling, this new change. And then your final challenge is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is the true realization of the power that we have of manifestation when we work with our magic wand, when we work with our eternal flame. What calls us specifically to a place of and feeling of passion that is unique to us. When you think about, let's say, something like Harry Potter and everybody had their own wand, well, everybody was able to utilize different aspects of their wands to do different things. Not everybody could do the same spells or have the same abilities. And that's really the energy that's harnessed in the Queen of Wands. It's that remembering that each one of us holds our own wand. And by the time you go from the page to the Queen, you have mastered to a certain extent the level of magic, understanding what you uniquely can manifest in your external environment when you work with your unique passion. And I think with Judgment and the Queen of Wands coming here, kind of bookending your challenge, there's this feeling of kind of understanding your own personal power, of really understanding your magic and kind of seeing it. Something has happened that has allowed you to see your own personal magic, and that is allowing you to actually see yourself in a different way. And that could be this direct connection to this newfound connection to love. And what Spirit's asking you to really embrace is your passion, but from a place of fun, so that you can see that in following this calling, life doesn't have to be so serious. It doesn't have to be that I'm following this passion and I'm chained to it, or I'm going to have to, when I decide to stop being a lawyer and commit to working with children, I'm going to have to lose all this money, and I'm going to have to chain myself to debt, and I'm going to have to, X, Y, and Z. This is about realizing that sometimes the shifts can happen much more easily than you think. That maybe you do feel the call to work with children, but it doesn't have to be in that you just overnight walk away from being a lawyer and go back to school to become an elementary school teacher. This could look like a subtle shift of realizing, why do I feel this call now? And it could be something around an experience you've had, maybe because you had a charitable event that you attended and it was centered around children who were in need, and you realized how much that spoke and called to your soul. And that's what sparked this internal change. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to turn around and just leave everything that you've done up to this point. It's about realizing that that calling you can go out and have fun with it. And that you don't necessarily have to change your whole life. It's just more about refocusing where you put your time and energy, and realizing that our power comes from working from a place of connection to our soul's passion. And so this could look like, instead of walking into work and saying, I quit and I'm going to go back to school to become a teacher, and I don't even know what this is going to look like, to sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to start playing with this passion a little bit. I am going to contact the head of that children's organization, and I'm going to see what I can do to become a part of that. I'm going to see if I can donate time, if they need somebody who's going to help plan and organize these events. And if they don't need help, I'm going to see if they can help point me in the right direction to work with another similar type of organization closer to my environment. Or I'm going to see if I can talk to the local elementary school and see about doing maybe a community reading time, or coaching kids on a certain level into different career paths. There's all kinds of ways that we can work with our passion that still work within the confines of our current experience and setup, but where we realize it's the magic we bring to it. It's not that we have to, when we hear the call, just kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, okay, like, here I am. It's more about realizing, utilizing that change in perspective, utilizing that beautiful connection to a new motivation, to this eternal place of love, and using that cup to nurture. When you think of water and earth, earth is round pentacles, you nurture earth by pouring water on it, by allowing a seed to, that's planted, to grow. And there's a quality here about that, of utilizing the love within yourself to nurture and to be at peace with that, to nurture something that you'd like. So whether this is nurturing tomorrow's youth, so to speak, or whether this is nurturing a new hobby, something tied directly to your passion, what you're going to notice is that it's going to show you in your own life where you've always had this space to engage with this passion, and that it's not going to be as disruptive as perhaps you're fearing it will be. For you to be able to go out and start speaking from a place around this truth, to say, this is the choice I've made. This is going to allow you then to really understand that there's really only one option. There's only one decision to make here. It may seem like a variety of options, but this would be like the lawyer sitting here saying, well, do I stay as a lawyer or become a teacher? And in reality, it's not one or the other. It's your one truth in between. And the truth is that now you feel a calling to help children. It doesn't mean that you have to walk away from being a lawyer or that you have to become an elementary school teacher. It means that now you recognize the truth of what lights your flame, and you're going to walk forward, move forward with that sword to see what you're able to engage with in your external environment. It's actually a really beautiful message. I hope it's coming through as I'm trying to kind of intuitively feel through this message. But it is a powerful realization. It's a powerful realization of what you connect with, and realizing that it can be very easy to act from a place of passion without making giant disruptive changes in your life, especially when it's coming from the motivation of love. That pouring from your cup doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. It can feel like a nurturing event. Okay, Leo, I'm going to go ahead and pull a card for the concept of curiosity. So I'm going to pull a card for curiosity, courage, and contemplation. And we're going to engage the Triad of Engagement, which is a coaching tool I use in my practice, which is going to help bring what is a very general message into an individualized one for yourself by bringing points of awareness that you personally will keep in mind so that you will illuminate something individual to you this month. So what does Spirit want Leos to know about staying open and curious to something that's going to allow them to see and become aware of an aspect of their experience they weren't already aware of? What does Leo need to know for the month of February? Where should you be open and curious? And I apologize, sometimes I shuffle a long time. I am one of those people that likes to have my cards come out organically. And I know sometimes that can be a bore. But it's just what I feel comfortable with. So let's see. Leo, let's see. Come on, what do you need to be curious about for the month of February? Well, that was worth the wait. We have Cornucopia. Beautiful. The number 11. 11 is the number of the gateway between us and the divine. It's the spiritual portal to really being able to take what is and take it through the doorway into what it can be when we work with spirit. And Cornucopia is this card literally speaks to abundance. And I think there is something here around that for you, Leo, of realizing to stay curious as to where perhaps you are not feeling abundant. And that as you start to tap into this place of passion, as you start to realize what you can nurture from a place of love, and nurture a newfound connection, a newfound version of yourself, a newfound calling, that what are you missing as far as the abundance that you already have in your life that you can actually tap into to better strengthen your forward momentum in sharing your truth and sharing kind of what you're experiencing now on an internal level, and really being curious as to even what abundance means to you, and staying open to seeing how much abundance you have and how it can also be of service to what you want to do from this point forward, how it can be of service to the decision you're trying to make, and the realization of where you want to take action, how you want to start to share this newfound truth. I love this card. I'm so glad it came out for you guys. All right. So now we're going to pull a card for the concept of courage, where Spirit would like you to stay aware, or what Spirit would like you to stay aware of as you have the courage to take action. It says, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar into life. And we have surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Beautiful reminders. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. When you hear that call, there is a change that has happened. You are now a new individual inside, especially when we reconnect to source energy around love. And we realize our own power of what we can nurture in our lives when we take action from a place of love. But really what's coming through is this direct connection to the Queen of Wands and realizing the power that you have now in working with your own passion and how you can create for yourself the experience you'd like in your external environment simply by believing in yourself and understanding truly how strong you are. And surrender to effortlessness. I love this card. Stop pushing so hard. There is this feeling of just that coming through of, I think you think it's going to be harder than it's going to be. And in reality, if you act in alignment from this feeling, place of love, and you act in alignment with this new calling, it doesn't have to be hard. Again, you don't have to walk away from the law firm to become the elementary school teacher. You can simply own the realization that you want to work with children and that it's important in your life. And as you start to speak from that place, as you start to take action from that passion, little by little, things will shift in your environment. You'll unlock areas that will allow you to have more time to perhaps work with children in a certain capacity. Or you'll realize even within your own organization, you'll have this ability to maybe in your law firm, start a charitable organization that helps children in some way that actually calls and makes use of all of your previous experience. So it's always interesting that when we start to answer that call, and we start to, with faith and confidence in ourselves, start to work with our own magic that comes directly from our eternal flame, from our passion, what makes us a unique singular being, it's amazing how it's almost like the waters part, or the sun comes up and clarity comes out and we see the way forward, and it kind of becomes effortless. And when we look back at moments of time like this, we'll look back and say, wow, that's when everything changed. That was a time when I really didn't know what was going to happen, and all of a sudden I could never in that moment realize all the opportunities that came in the next couple years and how I started this charitable organization from just this one realization in this one moment. And these are those beautiful points in our life that really connect us, allow us to connect and engage on a deep, emotionally fulfilling level. This is a really important month for you, Leos. I really hope you understand that and you do step up into that beautiful Leo courage of actually taking action from your heart center. You do rule the heart, Leo. Your astrological planet as well, your ruler is the sun. It's not technically a planet, but you are one who is meant to shine from the heart. And when you step into a place of love as motivation, it's almost like naturally everything comes into alignment. So we have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. And we have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Beautiful points to keep in mind for contemplation and reflection for the month of February. When we feel that call from judgment, it really does feel like that. Where are you being called to journey to? Now, you don't have to see the end destination. It's simply feeling in to the start of that and allowing yourself to start to take action and speak from that place. And when it says pillar of light, your vibration is rising, there is this feeling here of the importance behind this change, this internal shift, and that it is something that is, our vibrations rise as we take action from the energy of love. But they also rise when we take action from a place of personal connection to our soul, our personal connection to spirit. And even though we're connected to everything, we are also connecting as a singular, unique being. And the more we take action from that place, and the more we understand our own unique passion, the more we are able to rise. And the more that actually draws towards us the opportunities and fuels the magic that is needed to journey towards our highest potential. Again, very powerful message, Leo. Very different from your previous readings and very different from actually really any reading I've done so far. So this is a powerful one. This is really stepping back and remembering your own power and moving forward from a place of true courage and realizing that it's not this decision or that decision. It's realizing your new truth and being able to water your experience from a place of love and tapping into your own magic. All right, if you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, you can click on the link in my description box below to book a personal reading or a one-on-one coaching session. I will be releasing my mid-month love readings for this month since it is Valentine's Day in just a couple weeks. And then I'll be releasing the schedule for March's illumination readings in the next couple weeks as well. I hope you all have a wonderfully empowering and illuminating February, and I look forward to seeing you again in March. Bye, Leo.